Sit again, traveller. The fire still lives. Its warmth may flicker, but its heart remains hot. Like all things old and true, it remembers. Tonight, we do not follow a hero. We do not climb mountains or slay beasts. Tonight, we listen. Beneath the roots of the world tree, beneath even thought, there is a place where the breath of time gathers in stillness. It is here that the threads of all things are spun, measured, and cut, not by kings, not by gods, but by hands older still. They are called the Norns, Urdr, Verdandi, Skuld. They do not seek the future, they shape its inevitability, and the loom is never still. Chapter 1. Beneath the roots, beyond the realms, the world tree breathes. Its roots coil through all realms, some through stone, some through frost, others through fire and storm. But deeper still, where even death holds no dominion, there lies a well, Urdabrunna, the well of Urdr. Its waters are still, so still that movement becomes memory, so deep that reflection becomes prophecy. The surface does not shimmer, it remembers. Here, in the hush below the world, time does not pass. It spirals. It folds upon itself like woven cloth. It pulses like the rhythm of breath. There is no beginning here, and no true end. Only the loom, and the three who sit beside it. Urdr, who knows what was. Verdandi, who shapes what is. Skuld, who waits with the blade. They do not speak. They have no need to. Urdr draws water from the well with cupped hands, letting it soak into the roots of Yggdrasil. She moves slowly, as if every motion has already been made before, and she is only echoing it again. Verdandi sits at the spindle, fingers dancing through unseen strands. From nothing, she draws thread, bright, taut, ever-shifting. Her hands are never still. She hums without sound. Skuld holds the blade. She does not spin, she does not draw, she watches. And when the time comes, when the thread has reached its true length, she cuts. The three do not govern fate. They are not gods. They are not creators. They are its keepers. The gods feel the tug of the thread, but do not see the hands that guide it. Mortals call them by names, offer them prayers, plead for mercy, but the Norns do not grant favors. They do not punish. They do not bless. They only weave. Each thread that passes through Verdandi's hands holds a life, a moment, a memory. Each fiber is touched by the water of Urdr's well. Each carries within it the weight of what has come before, and the tremble of what is yet to be. The loom is vast, but silent. It stretches across the base of the tree, yet casts no shadow. The threads hum, not in song, but in truth. Some are coarse, some delicate, some burn faintly, others feel cold. Each thread connects. Each thread matters. Even the smallest strand may wrap around the neck of a god. In the heart of this place, even time listens. Urdr moves slowly, her eyes always cast downward, not in sorrow, but in understanding. She draws only what has already happened, what cannot be undone. The water clings to her fingers like remembrance. Verdandi spins with rhythm. Her hands blur. Each thread drawn from the void is new, and yet already bound to the rest. Her fingers bleed, but she does not flinch. Skuld watches. Her blade rests against her palm. It is not cruel. It is not kind. It is precise. When her eyes meet a thread, and the time is right, she lifts the knife, and in one breath, it is done. A strand vanishes, a life ends, a story closes, and the loom continues. The Norns do not sleep. They do not hunger. They are not bound by the worlds. The worlds are bound by them, and if you listen closely, beneath the wind, beneath the root, beneath the sound of your own name, you may hear the loom as it turns, not loudly, not quickly, but always. Chapter 2. The Threads of Men. The thread of a mortal life is thin. It glimmers for only a moment, then fades. But in that flicker, entire worlds turn. Not all threads are long, not all are bright, but all are woven with the same care. Verdandhi's fingers move with steady grace. She draws a strand from the air. It quivers in her hand, luminous and trembling. A boy, not yet born. His thread pulses with a single scream, one that will shake the walls of a mead hall and make a king turn pale. He will live little more than a season. He will never see war, but his cry will begin a war in another man's heart. Urda touches the thread once, reading what has been. She nods. Skuld says nothing. Her blade remains still. Another thread, a woman. Her thread glows faintly blue, like starlight seen through fog. She will walk among the dying and speak a single truth, a truth so sharp, even a god will feel its sting. No one will remember her name, but the god will. She will not see the change her words will cause. She will not know she was heard, but the thread hums with quiet certainty. She will say it anyway. Verdandhi spins the thread with precision, and the loom accepts it. A fisherman, a thief, a midwife, a poet. Threads enter the loom by the hundreds, then by the thousands. Some tangle briefly, some pass near without touching, some wrap together so tightly they cannot be separated until the moment of the cut. The Norns do not smile, they do not frown. The weaving is not personal, but it is precise. Each life moves through its rhythm, its turning, its strain, and the loom remembers. Some mortals curse the gods, thinking them cruel. Others pray to them, hoping for mercy, but few ever know the ones who truly hold their line. The Norns do not answer prayers. They do not rewrite. They observe. They weave. A man once tried to burn his thread, to change what was coming. He cut himself from everything he knew, abandoned his kin, fled into the wilds. But his thread still spun. It did not shorten. It did not stretch. And when Skuld reached for the blade, it was not slower, nor swifter. The man died with his fists clenched, thinking he had escaped fate. But fate is not a place. It is not a law. It is the thread itself. And yet, it is not cruel. Each mortal's choices still echo. The weaving does not erase will. It includes it. The struggle itself becomes the pattern. The defiance, the sorrow, the love, the rage. They are not wasted. They give color, texture, tension. A woman who refuses to kneel. A child who forgives what should not be forgiven. A man who holds the hand of an enemy as they both lie dying. These moments are not accidents. They are strands pulled taut. They are meaning. And Verdandhi spins them all. Urda pours memory into the roots, reminding the tree of every spark. Skuld watches. She does not weep. She waits. The threads of mortals may be fragile, but they are essential. For what are the gods without the eyes of men? What is the storm without a village to shake? What is prophecy if no one lives to hear it? Each strand matters. Even the weakest thread can hold a sword. And somewhere, far above the roots, a mortal takes a breath, and the loom turns. Chapter 3. The Threads of Gods. The threads of the gods are not spun from silk. They are rooted, thick and heavy, Their strands grow from the base of Yggdrasil like extensions of the tree itself. They do not shimmer. They do not flutter. They carry the weight of myth and consequence and hum with the power of names. Verdandhi's hands hesitate as they touch the thread of Odin. It is bound in runes, twisted tightly, pulsing with ancient rhythm. His thread is a song of silence and sacrifice. It coils with knowledge not yet spoken, and burns faintly with the price he paid to hold it. It trembles, but not from weakness. It trembles with the strain of carrying too much. Urda lays a finger to it. Her eyes close. The well darkens for a moment, and the root beneath her hand grows colder. Odin's past weighs like a stone submerged. Thor's thread crackles. It snaps in and out of Verdandhi's hands like lightning chained to form. Sparks leap from its surface. Raw strength, joy, rage. His thread is not subtle. It shouts as it turns, ringing against the others like a hammer against a shield. And yet, it holds. Thor's fate is not gentle, but it is clear. He will fight, he will bleed, and the storm will answer him until the final roar. Then, Loki's thread. It slithers. It coils in on itself, forming knots that seem to undo themselves the moment they are formed. At times it burns. At others it feels like wind, present but impossible to grasp. No rhythm holds it. No pattern stays. It does not defy the loom, but it disturbs it. Verdandhi frowns. Skuld watches closely. No god's thread moves like Loki's. It twists through others. It touches things it should not. It sometimes splits, then rejoins, as if it travels more than one path at once. The Norns do not stop it. They cannot, for even chaos walks a path. They do not control the gods. The gods move with will and wonder, but the threads still pass through the Norns' hands, even when the gods do not know it. Each immortal moves through time as though they own it, but they feel the tug beneath their ribs, the quiet weight that tells them something watches, something marks. Freya's thread moves like smoke, seductive, strange, sorrowful. Heimdall's shines pale and steady, like the long stillness before a horn is blown. Tyre's thread bears the shadow of a missing hand, and Skuld hesitates over one thread. She holds her blade above it, but the edge does not fall. Not yet. The thread pulses with a different rhythm. Its time has not arrived. But when it does, when the blade finally moves, the world will change. She lowers her hand. Even gods must wait. Even immortals are passengers. The Norns do not ask if the gods understand their place in the weave. It does not matter. Understanding is not required. Only movement, only thread, only time. The loom turns, and above, in Asgard, a raven stirs. Chapter 4. A thread gone black. The loom slows, not from hesitation, but from disturbance. A new thread enters the weave. It is not like the others. It burns, black at the edges, glowing with heat. Ash clings to it, yet gold glimmers just beneath the soot. It writhes as it moves, not resisting the loom, but unsettling it. The tension in the thread makes the roots of Yggdrasil shudder. Verdandhi's hands pause. Urda leans closer to the well. The water ripples for the first time in an age. Skuld narrows her eyes. This thread is wrong. It should not be. But it is. The loom accepts it, not as a mistake, not as an intrusion, but as a necessity. Verdandhi begins to spin. Her hands tremble for only a breath. Then she finds the rhythm again, though the loom now hums with unease. The thread hisses in her grip. It smoulders with a hunger not seen in the threads of men or gods. This one wants gold, power, immortality, fire. It reaches through the weave like a flame seeking fuel. Urda touches it, just once. She flinches. The memory in this thread has not yet happened, but it bleeds backward through the loom. It touches other strands, not as fate, but as contagion. Skuld lifts her blade. She brings it close to the burning thread. The edge hovers, and then she pulls back. She will not cut it. Not yet. The thread splits, then rejoins. It flickers between forms. It is many and one. It smells of smoke and perfume, of charred flesh and molten gold. Gulve. Her name is not yet known, but her presence is felt. She does not walk the world yet, but already the world leans toward her. A whisper rises from the loom, not from the Norns, not from the roots, from the weave itself. War. The word echoes, first in silence, then in the trembling of other threads, then in the breath of the tree. The world begins to stir. Gods dream uneasy dreams. A hearth goes cold in Vanaheim. A spear is lifted in Asgard, but no enemy stands before it. And beneath it all, the black thread pulses. Skuld watches. Urda listens. Verdandi weaves. The pattern shifts. And still, the loom turns. Chapter 5. Verdandi's hand trembles. The present begins to bleed. Verdandi, spinner of what is, moves with hands that have never faltered, until now. Her fingers twitch. Her rhythm slips. And for the first time since the first thread, the present trembles. The burning thread, black-edged, gold-veined, twists in the loom. It touches others not by chance, but by pull. It calls. Threads begin to cross. Paths that should never have met begin to coil around each other. A soldier born in Vanaheim dreams of a war he has not seen. A builder in Asgard shatters a stone without knowing why, and curses the sound of bells. Two threads meant to pass quietly, now not in fire. Verdandi tries to follow the weave, but it resists her. The black thread spins faster, faster than time wants, faster than memory can hold. Urda lowers her hand from the well. Skuld's blade lowers, but does not rise. They do not speak, but the air around them thickens. This is not disruption. It is momentum. The fire of one will ignite the division of many. The loom does not protest. It shifts, adjusts, accepts, because this is not a change in fate. This is fate. Above, in the still spaces of Asgard and the wild plains of Vanaheim, tension grows, not spoken aloud, but pressed into every breath. The Aesir and the Vanir do not yet know, but they feel it. The boundary between kin and other begins to thin. Words grow shorter, glances colder. Trust, once soft and natural, now sits like iron. The gods move closer to conflict, not by choice, but by pull, by gravity, because the weave wants it, because the fire demands it. And still, Verdandi spins. Her hands do not bleed, but they strain. Her wrist trembles with each turn of the spindle. She does not pause. She cannot. Odin appears at the edge of the roots. He does not speak. He watches. His one eye glows faintly. His thread hums nearby, runes crackling quietly beneath its surface. He feels the pull. He smells the smoke. He hears the whisper of the word already forming at the edge of thought. War. He cannot stop it. This is not his choice. This is not his mistake. It is what is. He bows his head, then vanishes. The loom continues. Urda's hand rests again in the water. Memory tightens. Skuld strokes the blade across her palm, not to cut, but to remember. And Verdandi, she breathes. Her hand trembles, but she spins, because the weave does not care for fear. The weave does not pause for doubt, and the burning thread coils tighter. Chapter 6. The loom is never still. The well of Urda does not show reflections as water does. It does not answer questions. It does not speak names. It shows not what is, but what means. Its surface is glass without shape, memory without voice. And yet, as the loom turns, the well stirs. Urda lowers her hand into its depths. The water does not chill her fingers. It welcomes them, like an old friend long awaited. Her eyes close, not in weariness, but in knowing. Beside her, Verdandi spins. Her fingers, still trembling from the weight of the moment, regain their rhythm. The black gold thread of Gulve burns quietly in the weave, wrapped now with strands it was never meant to touch. Skuld stands at the ready, her blade steady again, its edge bright in the shadowless space. Above them, the tree listens, and the well begins to shine. Not with light, but with recognition. The threads shimmer across the water's surface, not as they appear in the loom, but as they are beneath form, as meaning, as consequence. 1,000 strands flicker, converge, part. And there, in the center of it all, Odin, not in body, not in vision, but felt, like a name remembered by the wind. He watches the well. He sees the loom not as a god, but as a question. And the Norns speak, just once. Their voices do not echo, they do not rise, but they settle into the world, becoming part of it, like stones settling into earth. What has been cannot be unwoven. The past, Urda's domain, is fixed. Memory is a root. It binds all. What is must pass through the spindle. The present, Verdandi's gift, is tension. Every breath turns the wheel. What will be waits with its blade. And the future, Skuld's silence, shapes itself through absence until the edge falls. The loom shivers. A gust rises from nowhere. The threads tighten. The roots of Yggdrasil creak. And in the well, Odin sees it, a hall burning, a name shouted in fury, gold coins melting into fire, the beginning of the war, the spark that will split 2 clans of gods. Gulve's thread gleams, beautiful, terrible. It drips not blood, but black fire. A woman, cloaked in embers, stands at the center of a great hall, smiling through flame. She has died, will die again, and still she will return. The loom does not stop. The well calms. The glow fades. The tree is quiet again, but nothing is as it was. The world has turned. The Norns do not look up, but they know. They know you are watching. The loom is never still, not even now. And far away, in Vanaheim, beneath a sky turning gold with dusk, a witch opens her eyes. She remembers nothing, but the fire has already begun, and now the fire before us dims. What did you see in the threads tonight, traveler? Did you feel the rhythm beneath your breath? Did you see how the threads touch when they are not meant to? Do you still believe choice and fate are enemies? Or have you seen how they entwine? What if the blade was already above your thread, And if it falls, who would it free? Next time, we rise with Gulveig. We burn. We return. We become the reason the gods go to war. Until then, may the threads that hold you be kind, and may the loom remember your name.